Perhaps one of the most underutilized and underrated lures that we have to bass fish with has got to be the single-tail grub. Easy to fish, easy to rig, and a bait that you can catch fish all throughout the water column makes the grub one of my go-to baits. So let's take a look at my grub fishing system and how I use it to catch more fish. The single-tail grub is a bait that can be fished 12 months out of the year. It's also effective in any water depth and attracts fish all throughout the water column. It's easily rigged using a standard 3/16 or 1/4 ounce ball head jig, and I prefer one with a thin wire hook for easier penetration and to keep the fish hooked better. The round style head also lets it become unsnagged a bit easier than other heads. Begin rigging by threading the grub into the hook point with the tail going in the same direction as the hook point, exiting through the hook point about 3/4 of the way up the grub body. Before cinching the grub all the way up, I like to apply a drop of glue to hold the bait securely on the jig head, extending the life of my grub. One simple thing you can do to totally change the appearance is to rig the grub tail opposite of the hook point. This gives the grub a bit more vibration and increases its profile. The retrieve can be done in many different ways, but I prefer to make a cast and follow my grub down with the rod tip paying close attention to any bites that occur in the water column. From there, I make a series of subtle sweeps, swimming the grub along the bottom while feeling for cover. Many times you'll get bit as the grub comes over a piece of structure. Like I mentioned before, there's really no wrong way to fish the grub, and I let the bites dictate if I need to fish it closer to the bottom or up in the water column. My grub fishing gear consists of a 7-foot medium action spinning rod rigged with 10-pound test braided line tied to an 8 to 10-pound test fluorocarbon leader. The braid just lets me feel everything the grub's doing on the bottom and also detects strikes that happen throughout the water column. One last thing I like to do when I'm grub fishing is alternate between a single tail and double tail grub, especially when I feel the fish are relating more to crawdads, since the double tail grub closely resembles his forage. The double tail grub is also highly effective when the fish are suspended a bit higher in the water column, since it falls slower than the single tail grub. So now you can see why the single tail and double tail grubs are two of my favorites for fishing in all different types of situations. Try them out for yourself next time you're out there fishing. I'm Mike DelVisco, and I'll see you on the water.